Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Kratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. Bhagavad Gita, which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatnu. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. We continue reading the 5th Adhyaya, the Sannyasa Yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today we are on to the 18th verse, 18th Shloka. In our previous reading, Sri Krishna told us about buddhasya tadatmanaha nishtaha parayanaha gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha gacchantya apunaravrittim. For that knower, there is no coming back. No punaravrittim. Punaravrittim is again and again coming into that cycle of birth and death. Punaravrittim. There is no coming back into this world again, provided buddhyaha atmanaha nishtha parayanaha, that his intellect, his self, his the entire being established in that, and parayanaha, established in that supreme goal. That person with the knowledge, that person who has had the ultimate realization, with his intellect and mind fixed on that. Everything is centered in that, the Atman, the Brahman. It has reached the stage of Advaita, non-dualism. And what happens to such a person? For such a person, for such a being, there is no punaravritti, apunaravritti. There is no coming back into this world of Maya, the creation of delusion. There is no coming back. Right? Once all these evils, all the tents, all the negatives of this life and death, they are dispelled by knowledge. Now today let us see what Sri Krishna has further to tell us on obtaining, on gaining, on realizing this ultimate knowledge. Sri Krishna says there is not just one benefit, plenty of benefits that Sri Krishna is listing down now. What happens to such a person who is imbued with self-knowledge? Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śhuni chaiva śhva-pāke paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśhinaḥ. What are the changes that are brought into a person who gets this ultimate understanding? A person, he becomes same-sighted. There is no high-low. There is no male-female. There is no rich poor. There is no learned ignorant. Not only that, there is no man, animal, plant. Everything becomes one for him. And in this shlok, Sri Krishna says, vidyā-vinaya-sampanne, having enriched sampanne with what? Vidya and vinaya. Having enriched oneself with the knowledge, with the learning and vinaya. Vidya is learning, knowledge. Vinaya, humility. I am the lowest of the lowest of devotees. That attitude. Having understood it, because there is no duality in life once that knowledge is reached. So, vidyā-vinaya-sampanne, having enriched one's life with the knowledge and with the humility, what happens? Brāhmaṇe gavi hastini. Brāhmana is Brahmin. In the fourfold caste system of the traditional Hindu society, the Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmins are slotted in the topmost, as a topmost caste, and the Shudras, the lowermost castes. Then, because knowledge, Brahmins are supposed to be the custodians of knowledge, sharers of knowledge. Their duty is to teach all others what is this life, what is this Brahman, what is the reality. That is what, having realized themselves, Brahmins could teach others. Now, in the Hindu fourfold caste system, those days, these were not birth-based. These were based on one's own learning, one's own understanding, one's own evolution. And ultimate was supposed to be fully evolved being, having the highest of knowledge, having the Brahma-jnana, having the Atma-jnana. That was called as the Brahmins. No more in today's world for that matter. So Sri Krishna says, Brahmin, gavi, cows, hastini, even the elephants, and śhuni, chaiva, śhva-pāke cha. Śhuni is a dog. And eva, and also śhva-pāke. Śhva-pāke is a literal translation of śhva-pāke is cooking. One who cooks dog meat and eats. Now, traditionally, this was considered to be by the lowest of the castes, the outcasts for that matter. That's what was termed, in earlier days, in the olden ancient days, the pariahs, who were no way equal to the top three castes in the caste system. Now, Sri Krishna says, having enriched oneself with the knowledge and humility, paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśhinaḥ, that pandita, that person, that enlightened soul, sama-darśhinaḥ, sees equally what? All these creatures who have been listed, the Brahmin, the cow, elephants, the dogs, and even the dog eaters for that matter, the lowliest of the castes. That Pandit, he is the real Pandit who has got the self-knowledge. Then he starts just one glance. For him, there is no differentiation. His self is so much enriched with knowledge and humility. He does not see any difference between man and animals. He does not see any difference between the high and low. He does not see any difference between the highly evolved soul and the animals and the lowest of castes. For him, all are manifestation of that Nirakar, Nirguna, Advaita Brahman. It is just a game of Maya for him. It is just a play of Maya for that learned person, the Pandita, the evolved soul. Men of self-knowledge are same-sighted on a Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and an outcast because they are imbued with learning, they are imbued with knowledge and humility. This is the wonderful teaching Sri Krishna has given. How a person of knowledge sees the world, how how is his interpersonal rapport for that matter. For him, all are same. It is not only interpersonal rapport, interspecies rapport for that matter. For him, a Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and even a dog eater, they are all the same. There is no difference at all. Sunlight falls equally on all things. It makes no difference between the sacred Ganges and the sewage water. Naturally, when the sunlight falls on this earth, wherever it falls, sunlight falls equally on the same. On the holiest of the holy things like Mother Ganges, or even the dirtiest of the waters in that gutter, the sewage. For sunlight, there is no difference in holy and unholy, in pure and impure, in virtuous and evil. No distinction, no differentiation. The knower of Brahman cognizes Brahman only everywhere. Because for him, there is only one entity. Ekam Sat. There is no Bahuda for that person. Normally it is said, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. That reality is only one, but only talkers, so-called talkers, they call them by different names. But for the learned, for the Pandita, for the enlightened soul, there is only one Sat. Ekam Sat. There is no Bahuda. The distinction which the worldly make among beings is born of ignorance. It is all because of the confusion that has been created by this Maya, by this delusion. The moment this differentiation of me and you comes, I am so and so, that's it. That is the major culprit, this ignorance, this delusion. To them, an ideal Brahmana is one who is to be revered. For these ignorant people, for ordinary human beings, the moment they see a Brahmin, they will just like this, they will offer pranams and all that. They will pay all the respect. They don't see what is the nature of, is he truly a Brahmin? Has he understood? Has he realized the Brahman? A Brahmin is one who has realized the Brahman. That is the definition of Brahmin. Not just putting marks and the sacred trade. That doesn't make anybody Brahmin. Why? In the olden days, in the ancient times, all those, even the robbers and, dacoits, like Valmiki, before he reached the stature of calling a Saint Valmiki, he was an ordinary highwayman. He used to kill people, he used to rob people, he used to snatch away their properties, and then one fine day he got some kind of inner enlightenment, and he went on the path of uttering Mara, 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 kill, 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 kill. And through that Mara, he started repeating Rama, 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 and he became Valmiki, the great sage who gave us the treasure of Ramayana. That is how the caste system was evolved in the ancient times. And from the ordinary standpoint, a Brahmin is supposed to be highly revered. An outcast is supposed to be not even touch me not. Those days, unfortunate days of untouchability. And among men, the former, the Brahmins, they are at the topmost mark, and the untouchable, the outcasts, they are at the lowest. Similarly, among animals also. Now look at the funniest aspect of we human beings. We not only differentiate between the high caste, low caste human beings, even among the animals. Cow is most revered. Then also the elephant, the god of, with high intelligence, the animal with high intelligence, the elephant. And then they consider, okay, dogs and all these things, they come, in the lower portions. Sri Krishna in this particular shloka, he has made way with all these differentiations. Sri Krishna says the man of enlightenment, he sees, he perceives all these with the same sight. A Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and even a dog eater. For him, there is no difference between these. But the man of self-knowledge does not see into assumed differences in men, animals, birds, and other creatures. He cognizes the same omniscience present in all forms which are unreal. Because in reality, whichever form we talk of, whether it's a Brahmin or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, or even among the animals, the cow, elephant, the dog, and all other creatures, the plant kingdom, the moment they get into this paradox of name and form, they get into this illusion of name and form, they are all temporary, they have no permanent existence, they are all going to come and go, come and go, come and go. There is no permanence in their state. There is only one thing that is permanent, and that is Ekam Sat. That is what enlightened souls, that is what the realized souls, that is what the jnanis, the pandhitas, they get the realization of all beings being nothing but manifestation of one ultimate truth. There is no high, there is no low, there is no rich, there is no poor. So what Sri Ramakrishna has to say on this? Sri Ramakrishna says, Naissance creates plurality, ignorance creates plurality and difference among things. It is only because of ignorance. Because we don't know what reality is. We don't use that power of discrimination to discriminate between the real and the unreal. And under this veil of ignorance, we create all the differences. We create all this plurality. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. Naissance, the ignorance creates plurality and difference among beings. Omniscience reveals unity behind the seeming multiplicity. It is only the ultimate knowledge. It is only the Brahma-jnana. It is only the knowledge of the self that reveals, although outwardly we may be seeing them as whole lot of different beings in different forms to which we have given different names. In reality, they are all one. Unity behind seeming multiplicity. It is all seeming. It is not real. It is just a seeming multiplicity. All these forms and names. Forms we see, names we have given. This multiplicity is all just a seeming multiplicity. In reality, it is only Ekam Sat. So in this 18th shloka, Sri Krishna has beautifully given us, Arjuna and to us, beautiful teaching of how to perceive oneness in all the beings. Get rid of that differentiation. Get rid of that looking in the way of multiplicity, as Sri Ramakrishna says. They are all one. They are all manifestations of the same ultimate reality. Ekam Sat. There is no Bahuda. So that was reading of 18th shloka of the 5th adhyaya Sannyasa Yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Namastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.